Hello and welcome to the feature race here in Jeddah. In case you missed the sprint, Octavian Ursu and Cortez battled at the first part of the race, but then Cortez got overtaken by Antonio. As we get ready to go to 5 red lights, Lucas Hendrick jumps the start. 5 red lights are out and away we go. That's Thomas Vink who got a beautiful start into turn number 1. Thomas Vink around the outside. He's going to lose out to Antonio on the exit. We've got yellow flags. A big crash at the back. We only see really 5 cars coming through. Chebatarov's out and the track is blocked.
What has happened here on the start? Jesus Christ, so many people just died.
Is that a full safety car?
That is a full safety car on lap 1. Kevotarov and Lucas Hendrick is out.
Chebatarev and Lucas Hendrick out. Octavian Ursu, the leader. Antonio Brancati, second. McTier, third. Cortez down to 4th. Thomas Vink up to 5th. He had a fantastic start. Justin Janssen, 6th. Thomas Vink making the most of those medium tires early. The leaders run down the backstretch. Octavian Ursu currently out front. Brancati running second. After seeing the sprint race, Ariane, what can we expect from this main feature race?
Well, obviously, Octavian Ursu was very fast. Obviously, that's what's got him the pole position here today. And Antonio Brancati, they're not very far behind, as is Antonio Cortez. But I think Brancati's going to give Ursu a run for his money. He was quite close with him on pace, and he just didn't have obviously the laps trying to overtake him in the sprint.
Yeah, we saw there were only 3 or 4 laps left when we went green flag racing in the sprint, so it'll be interesting to see how Brancati keeps up with the Ursu throughout this entire race. Some guys at the back into the pits. Lucas Stevens into the pits. Eliason into the pits. Grabiatz, Moscat, Pico, and Daniel Bodnar into the pits. All go on to the medium tires. It'll be interesting to see when these guys on the medium tires start to catch people like Clark, Galeotti, and Verhoeven. And if they can they get by them and maybe force a change of strategy? We should get back to green flag racing maybe this time by. Let's see if the safety car pulls in. Safety car in this lap. So Octavian Ursu will lead us back to green. Antonio Brancati running third. Brancati running second. McTier third. Cortez fourth. And Thomas Vink in fifth. Safety car will pull away. Ferrari round the final corner. He's running wide through turn 27. An interesting strategy. He gets on the power right at the exit of 27. And the Ferrari is scooted away a little bit. And Brancati scooted away a lot more from McTier. It's about 5 or 7 car lengths from Brancati to McTier as Justin Jensen running 6th. Right behind Thomas Vink in front of Verhoeven. Everybody cleanly through turns 1 and 2 this time. We did not have a pileup. As Ursu and Brancati still in front. About 0.7 of a second over Dallin McTier. Through turn number 12 they go. A Ferrari of Ursu scooting away just ever so slightly. Through that turn 12 section, Thomas Vink running 5th. He's right on the back of Cortez. He looked to the outside. Couldn't find any space on those fresh medium tires. Red Bull trying to take advantage early.
You see Thomas Vink is on those mediums. He's just opted for, which is now the alternate strategy. Obviously, most people going hard mediums as always. Has been proved to be the fastest strategy on most tracks. Thomas Vink switching up, going for the mediums. And according to the Red Bull pit wall, he hasn't got a setup, so that's unfortunate.
Running 5th without a setup is pretty impressive as we watch Eliasson right on the back of Grabietz down the main straightaway. A Haas will pull away by about a car length and a half down the main straightaway. Cameron Clark, though, running in 8th right behind Verhoeven. Through turn 1 and 2, the Silver Arrow gained a little bit of time. Grabietz looked to the inside of Gagliotti in turn number 2. Couldn't find any space. And so the Haas will have to be content to sit behind as they head through sector number 1.
If you look at the positions on the start, Tim Verhoeven, they're up 9 spots, Janssen up 5. Those guys jumped right up the order. They avoided the carnage on the first lap. The first corner even was.
Back up front, Antonio Brancati currently running second. Octavian Ursu the leader. Ferrari has scooted away by just a couple car lengths.
How's that sandwich?
Well, it's done now, so. Cameron Clark right on the back of Verhoeven. Go to the outside of Verhoeven through turn 26. Mercedes has got the job done, and Cameron Clark up into 7th as Grabietz to the inside of Gagliotti in turn 27, and the Haas is up to 9th as that's Antonio Brancati who set the fastest lap of the race. He's reeled in that Ferrari a little as they head through turn number 3. The Alfa Romeo right in the tire tracks of Octavian Ursu. He hasn't been able to close in. Through turn 12, it looks like that Ferrari's just a little bit better through that first sector. And Octavian Ursu scooted away by another couple car lengths. It looks like it's a 2-car breakaway. They've both pulled away from Dallin McTier. Antonio Cortez.
Antonio Cortez is sitting right behind Dallin, but you see those front two, they've just disappeared.
Especially at a track like this, it's so easy to disappear. You get even a second and a half, 2 seconds up the road, and you can't see him because of the twists and turns. Cortez will have DRS down the back straightaway. He'll go to the outside in turn 27, and he will get the move done as back up front. Cortez now to the outside of Dallin McTeer. Brancati with the fastest lap once more. Brancati will look to the inside. He will decide better of it as McTeer gets around Cortez in turn number 2. And the Alpine back up into 3rd. Thomas Vink behind under pressure from Justin Janssen. Janssen just a couple car lengths to the rear of the Red Bull as Antonio Brancati didn't lose a ton of time. Sector number 1 is Verhoeven trying to get around Grabietz. Grabietz and Verhoeven both ran a little bit wide through turn 10. The Alpha Tauri right on the rear wing of the Haas. He looked to the inside. He decided better of it. He'll take the slightly longer way around turn 13. The Alpha Tauri got really close to the wall on the exit. He's right in the tire tracks of the Haas through turn 16 and 17. He'll have DRS down this back straightaway. The Haas will scoot away by just a couple car lengths. We both have DRS, and it looks like Verhoeven just doesn't have the straight line speed. Grabietz will scoot away by about 3 to 4 car lengths as back up front. Antonio Cortez closing in on Dallin McTeer. Aston Martin will look to the inside in turn 27. He wasn't close enough, so he'll back out of it. But he'll have DRS down the main straightaway. The Aston Martin with DRS closing in. He'll look to the inside. McTeer forces him down to the wall, but Cortez will go to the inside in turn number 1. Side by side they go, banging wheels. Dallin McTeer just forces him wide through turn 3. The Alpine will stay ahead.
Great racing there from these two. These guys putting their elbows out for P3. The front two right now, they've disappeared, and as you've noticed, Octavian also, he's pulled that 1 second gap. I don't know if Brancati made a mistake. He was right with him, and then yeah, he's lost about half a second there in the meantime. Tim Verhoeven's already up to 9 seconds of penalties. What is going on?
That's not good for the Alpha Tauri. If he wants a shot at winning this race, he needs to not get many more penalties and hope that everybody else around him steps off the track a couple times. Brancati, 1.3 seconds to the rear of Octavian Ursu through turn 22 and 23. You can just see that Ferrari kind of disappear around the corner. Brancati needs to close in on the Ferrari. The championship contenders run 1-2. Verhoeven with a 5-second penalty, and we've got a safety car. Leon Mascat is out. That's turn 23.
Yeah, there's been a collision there for sure.
See from the view of Daniel Bodnar, it looks like he just lost it into the wall. I don't doubt that there was a collision. It might have been with Verhoeven. I didn't see where Mascat was running. But under the safety car, Cameron Clark will come in. Thomas Vink will come in. Leo Sun will come in. Gabriel Rico. Lucas Stevens.
Yeah, all those guys were just about before the pit lane. Everyone who's not pitted, I think they just missed it. It is quite early still to pit, but
It is a tiny bit early, but Thomas Vink going onto those hards, if he can be conservative, make those hards last, I don't doubt that Red Bull will end up in a fantastic finishing position. See Octavian's tire performance, he's at 26%, so not bad. Those hard tires just 8 laps old. He's certainly got another 6 to 7 laps in him. Have to see how the Ferrari does on this after this safety car. But this was a huge break for Antonio Brancati. He was down 1.3 seconds to the leader. And it looked like Octavian was just going to pull away and run away with this. But safety car bunches everybody up. We'll have to see if... We've seen some great moves on restarts. Brancati get around Cortez on the safety car restart in the sprint race. So have to see if some of these guys can get a little bit of a jump. Here you can see the sector times. Brancati just he's slower through sectors 1 and 2. He's got the pace through sector 3, just not there through 1 or 2.
Yeah, he gains a lot in sector 3, but the first 2 sectors.
We run under safety car, lap number 9. Octavian Arsu, the leader in Jeddah.
All the people who've made a stop there. The furthest one out the field who has made his stop is Kasper Grabietz. You see in our second safety car now. He's on the medium, so they're not going to last the whole race. Obviously, he's already on 40%. He's been using them from the first safety car where he boxed. Quite surprised he didn't box again, to be honest. I would have thought.
I think he was past the pit lane.
I mean, he had a second chance, really. I mean, they missed it the first time, but when they went back round boxing then, I don't think they would have lost too much. Right now, he's gonna have to box not even that late. I mean, he'll box probably with the rest of the hard runners, so. But obviously, it's not going to be for mediums.
You know, he will go on to the hards. I assume we can expect him to box here in about 3 to 4 laps, maybe after the safety car restart. Obviously, he's not using a ton of tire here under the safety car, which really helps somebody like Thomas Vink. If this safety car goes another lap or 2, probably not 2, but if it goes another lap, Thomas Vink might be able to stretch out these tires. It would only be 15 laps to the end. I could see the Red Bull as the safety car's in this lap. I could see Thomas Vink going to the end on that set of hards. He's just got to be conservative with it.
If he gets in someone's DRS and just focuses his tire all the way to the end, probably possible. It's only 15 laps. Although this is a high-speed circuit, so we'll see
that it is. That it is as we get ready to restart under safety car. Octavian Arsu will lead us back to the green flag. Antonio trying to get right up. Oh, he's in the wall! He's in the wall! Octavian put Brancati in the wall and then took off. I doubt it was intentional. But a little bit of drama here as Janssen will go to the inside. Now the outside of Cortez. He can't make the move. Grabietz right behind Justin Janssen. Cortez didn't get a great restart. He hasn't gotten great safety car restarts today. Janssen now looks to the inside through turn number 4. Can't get the move done. Everybody's single file, though, playing it nice and kind so far as we run lap 11. Thomas Vink trying to make hay while the sun shines. It looks like Brancati got a bad exit out of turn number 12. That's going to allow Dallin McTeer to go to the outside through 13. They'll run side by side. The Alpine will have the advantage. And Antonio's got damage.
Yeah, he must have got damage from what happened with him and Octavian on the restart. See, look, he just has no front end through this corner.
I wonder how the stewards will see that safety car restart. I don't know that Octavian put him in the wall intentionally. He did put him in the wall nevertheless, as Justin Janssen almost ran over Brancati. They had down the penultimate straightaway. Janssen and Grabietz have gotten bottlenecked behind the Alfa Romeo. They can't get by him. They're 2 and 3 wide. Grabiet's to the inside of Jensen through turn 27. They'll go 3 wide out of turn 27. This is really going to kill Antonio. He can't get into the pits. They'll go 3 wide down the main straightaway. That's Cameron Clark, Justin Jensen, and Romeo. 3 wide down the main straightaway. Antonio's really caused a bottleneck. And I think this might be his championship hopes, maybe down the drain. It's too early to say. It's only race 6, but he's fallen down to 8th, and he's still got a pit, so you got to figure he's going to lose a ton more spots. But Alfa Romeo just, it's not his day.
Yeah, obviously, that probably will be seen in the steward's office, that incident between him and Octavio Nusso on the restart. Now he's trying to get past Thomas Vink, but he has his own issues. He doesn't have a setup.
Antonio seems to have a lot of straight line speed. That's why nobody could get by him on the straightaways. As we watch Cameron Clark run behind Justin Jensen and Romeo in 5th. Casper Grabiet's up to 4th on those medium tires. But right now it's a bottleneck behind Antonio. Nobody can get by him on the straightaways. He's got too much straight line speed, but he doesn't have any speed in the corners. See if
understeering so much.
Oh, he might get stuck out another lap. He will not get stuck out another lap. Gabriel Rico will allow him to pit. Up front, it's Octavian Ursu, followed by Dallin McTeer, who's under pressure from Cortez. As we flip back to Janssen briefly, is right in the tire tracks of the Alpine through turn 3 and 4. That green Aston Martin, he's got a chance to overtake the Alpine if he can just close up a tiny bit. He's fallen way behind him in Sector 1. Cortez maybe closing in on 2nd. And maybe closing in on Octavian up front as we back to the battle for 6th. Cameron Clark right on the rear wing of Justin Jensen through turns 17 and 18. That Silver Arrow trying to chase down the Williams for 6th. Down the back straightaway they go. DRS open. Clark closing in on Jensen. He won't make a move into turn 22. He got an okay exit. Have plenty of strips, slipstream, and DRS. To the outside, down the back straightaway. On those medium tires, he'll get around the Williams easily. And Cameron Clark up into 6th. As Cortez is closed in on Dallin McTeer. He's got DRS, he'll use ERS to the inside down the main straightaway. Side by side they go into turn number 1. Dallin McTeer just closed the door through turn number 1. And Cortez was forced to back out. That'll keep the Alpine in 2nd. The Aston Martin will have to challenge another day as he's right on the rear wing of the Alpine through sector number 1. He's lost about 3 or 4 car lengths through turns 9 and 10. And it looks like the Aston Martin will live to fight another day.
You can see Abu that Chaos Gagliotti up into 4th. Very good job from him. Cameron Clark up to P5 as well. Not been too lucky this season. A P5 finish he wouldn't be too unhappy about for Mercedes.
Now, he hasn't been super lucky this season, but right now he's chasing down the Alfa Romeo in front. Romeo Gagliotti through turn 22 and 23 as we head back to the battle for 2nd. Tez has got a run on McTeer. He'll have DRS down the penultimate straightaway. He's closing in on the Alpine. He'll look to the inside in 27. He'll think better of it. Get the better run out of the final corner. Down the main straightaway, it looks like McTeer's into the pits. And Octavian Ursu also into the pits. So that will leave Cortez out. His leaders continue.
Yeah, you see these guys going for the undercut right now. Cortez trying the overcut. With 10 laps left, mediums are definitely going to be good for the rest of this race. Question is, can Cortez put a decent enough in-lap here?
He saw that Cortez had pace earlier. I wonder if it was a case of being stuck in dirty air and not really being able to close up to the back of Dallin McTeer. We'll have to see as he heads through turn number 13. Aston Martin with the red and yellow helmet. Lucas Stevens running behind Gabriel Rico. These guys have already pit. So Thomas Vink on those hard tires might be the provisional race leader.
Yeah, I mean, he has a 3-second time penalty. So that's not going to help him out. But, yeah, you're right. That extra stop he's done earlier, those guys who've just pit, they're going to have to make up that time.
Question is, can he go to the end? And I don't know the answer. Cortez into the pits. He'll break right at the board. 10 laps to go as we cross the line here in Jeddah. Cameron Clark will take over the lead. Justin Janssen, the pits as well. Octavian Ursu will get Cortez easily, and so will Dallin McTeer. It wasn't a competition. The Aston Martin might have stayed out a little too late. Cortez came out right behind Dallin McTeer. He's fallen into the grasps of Romeo. It's like Romeo's not close enough to get Cortez. Right now, as it stands, he's closed in on Cortez a little bit through sector number 1. The Aston Martin's fallen back a little bit. We know he's not super strong in sector 1. Maybe those tires quite aren't up to temperature. Romeo right on the rear wing of the Aston Martin through turn 13. He'll follow right in the tire tracks through the hairpin. The Aston Martin will pull away by about a car length or 2 through 15 and 16. Romeo's going to have DRS down this back straightaway. DRS open. Not close enough. It looks like the Aston Martin just pulls away ever so slightly down the back straightaway. He got a much better exit through turn 22 and 23. Cortez now sets his sights on Dallin McTeer. Up front, Cameron Clark the leader as Octavian Ursu closes in on Lucas Stevens. No Clark has to come in. Thomas Vink currently running second. Question is, can Octavian Ursu get through these guys in 8 laps? It will certainly be a tall challenge. There aren't a ton of passing opportunities. Stevens will let Ursu go. Ursu chasing after Eliasson in 4th. What do you think about Octavian's chances to win this race?
Well, he's got a lot of pace, and we know he does. Obviously, I'm not sure what the wear on Cameron Clark is. We'll probably have a look at that later. I think he'll be able to get these Red Bull guys. They're not too far up the road. He's got the freshest tyres out of anybody bar Cortez. You see, he's already caught up to Lucas Eliasson about 2 seconds there in the last lap.
Yes, he has. He's caught up to Eliasson by 2 seconds. He gets by Eliasson. It's not much further to go to catch Thomas Vink. Ferrari will pull to the inside. Eliasson will let him go. And Octavian Ursu up into 4th. Now he tries to chase down the Red Bulls ahead. He's worked his way through traffic masterfully so far. Dallin McTeer in 7th right now. Cortez is caught up to the back of the Alpine. I expect Lucas Stevens to let these guys by as Justin Janssen will set the fastest lap of the race. I expect Stevens to let these guys by. He did with Octavian Ursu as Cameron Clark the leader. He's 5 seconds up the road. He's only got 40% on those tires. Do you think he can make it to the end?
I think he can, but it's just going to be risking a puncture. I think he's just got to go for it at that point.
That's the same way I see it. Ursu is closed in on Rico and Vink. His next opponent is Gabriel Rico. Rico certainly shouldn't make it easy. Octavian, they're in the same race. Rico with DRS, it looks like Octavian's just so much faster. Stevens will let McTeer by. Cortez will go to the inside of Stevens. Maybe a little bit of contact through turn 22 and 23. Cortez was held up just slightly. That's going to allow Romeo to close in on Cortez as he'll get around Stevens. Romeo right on the back of Cortez. Octavian Ursu gets by Gabriel Rico quite easily. He closes in on Thomas Vink. He goes to the outside of Thomas Vink, past Thomas Vink.
Yeah, and now he sets his sights on Cameron Clark in first. He's got quite a way to go here to catch up to him.
Gap is about 4 seconds. As Octavian starts to pull away from Thomas Vink. Figure though the advantage of those medium tires should start to wear off fairly soon. The gap 4.3 seconds, now down to 3.1. Oh. Well, it might wear off fairly soon. Not sure what the gap is because the timing screen isn't consistent. 5.8 seconds. 3.8 seconds. Maybe Cameron Clark pulling away just a tiny bit. Or maybe not.
I mean, this is the one you want to look at. 1.8 seconds is the
Yes.
last lap. And I think that's just going to keep going up and up. I think Ursu's definitely going to be with him. Cameron Clark's got some defending to do.
Absolutely. Back in the back, Cortez will go to the outside of Dallin McTeer through turn 26, side by side through 27. Cortez with a ton of wheel spin, and Brancati's in the wall. Or that's Gagliotti in the wall. Romeo Gagliotti in the wall, and the safety car is out. The safety car is out. Here, Jeddah.
Oh my god.
Fabiette's into the pits. That's going to neutralize this race. And Clark, if he's... I'm not sure if he's going to do it or not. But Cameron Clark, if he puts on a set of softs, you got to figure Rico, Vink, and Elias Sun will put on a set of softs.
Yeah, there's some mind games right now because also he's got fresh. His tires are fresh enough to go the distance. Obviously, if he stays out and everyone else boxes, that can create some problems for him. It really depends on how many are going to stay out here.
If I'm McTeer, Cortez, I think I'm going to do the opposite of whatever Octavian does. If Octavian stays out, I'll come in. If he comes in, I'll stay out.
Yeah, and I think we can see the same from Octavian with Cameron. Or maybe he'll do... I think Octavian is going to stay out. And unless he really believes that everyone behind him will box. I think he's played fairly recently, so we'll see. Here's Cameron Clark now coming around the final corner. We assume he's going to box. He does have higher wear, but maybe he might just try and stick it. There he goes.
He's in. Octavian will stay out. Red Bulls stay out as well. That's an interesting play by the Red Bulls. McTeer is in. Will Cortez follow? Clark is in. Cortez is in. Stevens is in. Ooh, so that's gonna create a problem for these guys on the softs though, because Vink, Rico, and Eliasson all stayed out on the hard, so Octavian's got a buffer, and he's got a big buffer. It's not going to be easy.
He has a lot of places to make up.
It's not going to be easy to get around 3 cars. I wonder why the Red Bulls stayed out, though.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at their tire wear, they're looking at 38%, so they're able to make it to the end. And it's a reasonable strategy, you know. You can keep the guys behind. They're going to be way faster than you, but after about 2 laps, the softs will be completely burned out.
But you won't be able to challenge for the win, though, because Octavian's just going to pull away on the mediums.
Maybe they just don't think they'll challenge for the win anyway.
That's possible.
What happened there? Jansen's got a 5-second time penalty, and he's got kind of wing damage. He's had a collision with Daniel Bodnar. I think that was his AI.
That's with a 3-second time penalty.
Under safety car conditions, he's trying to catch up to the pack, and he's just overstepped it.
Mm-hmm. We run here in Jeddah. Octavian Ursu, leader. Thomas Vink in safety car in the. That's awful late for the safety car to come in. Not entirely sure what's happened there. Octavian trying not to pass the safety car. He got a great getaway. It looks like Cameron Clark might make up one position. 3 wide into turn number 1. Eliasson tried to go to the middle. 2 Red Bulls around. McTier's going to lose all kinds of spots. That's McTier around at the back. And everybody piling into the wall. Eliasson into the wall. Rico into the wall. McTier is out. And Octavian Ursu is a second up the road. Cameron Clark's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch the leader. He's got his teammate Stevens behind him. As Cortez battling with Grabietz farther back. Clark has a lot of work to do. He's 1.6 seconds behind Octavian Ursu. They head out of turn 17 and 18. Grabietz closing in on Cortez. Brancati closing in on Stevens. Cameron Clark beginning to reel in Thomas Vink. Down the back straightaway they go. And Clark's got to dispatch of Vink quickly. Clark to the outside of Thomas Vink. He'll get a... Well, he didn't quite get around Thomas Vink through turn 27. Vink almost put him in the wall. And Clark is around Thomas Vink. The gap 1.6 seconds to Octavian Ursu. As Brancati and Stevens will battle down the main straightaway. There's only 9 cars left. Really only 7 left in the race. Nico and Eliasson are so far back they probably won't factor into this finish. But you can cover the top 7 with a blanket. Cameron Clark beginning to reel in Octavian Ursu up front. Gap down to 1.3 seconds. You can visually see him closing. It's about 20 car lengths from the Ferrari to the Silver Arrow. Asper Grabietz right at the back of this pack. Right behind Cortez. Stevens running 5th. Brancati running 4th. It's the dispatch of Thomas Vink. Antonio Brancati wants a shot at this win. Down the back straightaway they go. Cameron Clark really hasn't closed in on Octavian Ursu. Down the back straightaway. He really needed to with 3 laps to go here in Jeddah. Brancati's going to get a beautiful shot at Thomas Vink down this back straightaway. He's got plenty of slipstream. Cameron Clark's got the gap down to 1.5 seconds up front. Cortez and Stevens side by side down the back straightaway. Cortez will get around Stevens. Brancati will try and run wide to get a beautiful run on Thomas Vink. Did he do it? Yes, he did. DRS enabled. Brancati got around Thomas Vink. Now it's down to Brancati. Cameron Clark has closed way in on Octavian Ursu. Octavian made a mistake somewhere. Gap is now 1.1 seconds. Cameron Clark can close by another tenth or two. He'll have DRS, and presumably he'll get around Octavian.
Can he get in the DRS? So that is a question. He's burned through his entire ERS. You're looking, he's on 5%. He's out. Having also on the hand, that's 50%. If he's been relaxing out in front, and it looks like he's about secured this win in the bag.
It's not over yet. We've seen wilder things happen. Antonio Brancati 1.5 seconds behind Cameron Clark. Clark trying to close in on Octavian Ursu. Gap 1.6 seconds. As Grabietz and Tom will battle down the back straightaway. The Haas got around the Red Bull. But it looks like up front, it's Octavian Ursu's race to lose. He's got a 1.2 second gap. The main straightaway, Cameron Clark trying to close in. He's trying anything to catch the Ferrari. Gap up to 2.1 seconds as we hit the white flag. Cortez closing in on Brancati into turn number 1. At Aston Martin right in the tire tracks of the Alfa Romeo through turn 3. Cortez wants a podium position in his debut Tier A race. Cameron Clark has fallen behind Octavian Ursu. It looks like Octavian's going to come away with this one, but the podium places aren't decided yet. Cortez with a 3-second time penalty. That means he's going to have to overtake Brancati. He's got to find a way around him somewhere as they head through turns 17 and 18.
It looks like Melon, Octavian Ursu, has done all he's done, all he can to win this race. You see, he stayed out, did the right strategy on the final safety car there.
To perfection, and now he's got a 3-second gap as Brancati closing in on Cameron Clark out of the final corner. Octavian Ursu is going to win in Jeddah. Cameron Clark comes home second. Brancati almost got him at the line, not quite. Cortez comes home fourth. Stevens up to fifth. Grabietz sixth, and Thomas Vink in seventh.
Tough race for some. Definitely be seeing the stewards. The podium, as you can see, Octavian Ursu takes the win. Once more at the top side of the podium. Cameron Clark though, P2. P2 for Cameron Clark.
It could be P1 if Octavian gets a post-race penalty.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, Antonio has no right to be side by side with him, so unless Octavian did something erratic, then it's probably on Antonio, that one.
As we look at the final standings, Octavian Ursu the winner, Cameron Clark second, Antonio Brancati third, and Antonio Cortez fourth, and Lucas Stevens in fifth.
Mercedes both in the top 5 today. Well, that's about it for today's stream. Tomorrow, you guys have the Cup. They're at Hungary. Be sure to watch that one. And after that, you got Tier B's version of events. For Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Thank you everybody for watching. Bit of a crazy one, but we got there in the end. It's gonna be goodbye from me, and goodbye from Adam.
See ya.